number of pages on Catholicism, and one of the things he talks about is how positive was the view of Catholicism by people like Ernst Bloch and Georgi Lukács. And that they even talked to Marianne about the possibility, they asked Marianne, would the Webers convert to Catholicism? So there was an openness which is not obvious in the written record, but we don't know what he really, what we really think, or we don't know with enough detail. And to conclude, there is a difference in my argument, or a specific aspect of my argument which maybe haven't conveyed properly. The argument is about the connection of patrimonial domination and capitalism. Now, and of course, Weber writes a lot about patrimonial domination, and he uses Confucianism and ancient Egypt as examples. But when he first traced the connection between patrimonial domination and capitalism, he's using this example from Spanish colonialism, and he identifies in this Spanish case an extreme case, which are important for the development of ideal types. And I might be wrong, but this is the reason why I think his knowledge of Spanish colonialism might have brought him in that direction in terms of thought. And one last comment, I think there is also an issue of the status. It was much more important in the German academic culture in the 1910s to speak about China and ancient culture, very cultivated, than about Spaniards, conquerors, destroying the ancient American cultures. So it was much more, in terms of discursive strategies, much more intelligent for him to present the thing using the Confucianist case than talking about what the Spaniards had made in Latin America. Thank you.
Thank you, Alvaro. And now, please, Hans-Peter.
Yes, thank you for the questions. Two remarks in advance. First, there is the chance that Weber will be cancelled. I just want to remind you of a conference last year at the Max Weber Kolleg in Erfurt, and the topic was Max Weber a racist? I was not there because we had a big conference in Madrid, organized by Cesar Colino on Max Weber, but it was interesting to see that. I mean, this was seriously discussed. And the other thing is the irony that Max Weber read basic literature for the Protestant ethic living in Rome near the Vatican. So Protestantism and Catholicism, at least physically, closely united. Yeah, thank you for the questions, Natalia. Yeah, Wechselwirkung, that's always the problem. The interaction is not Wechselwirkung, but it's very difficult to translate this central term. Maybe one should just say Wechselwirkung in quotation marks or so. You are right that money is the trademark. That was my thesis, because I wanted to confront Weber and Simmel, and I found money and capitalism quite apt central phrases or concepts to do that. And of course, he called his, I would say, opus magnum, philosophy of money, and not philosophy of money and intellectuality. But you're right, whenever he discusses this, he draws close analogies between money and intellectuality as sides, if you like, of modern rationalism. Weber was a hesitant sociologist. I would say he was, my thesis is that he was basically driven towards sociology. He himself said in his Wissenschaftslehre that a new science comes into being if we have problems which we cannot solve with the sciences we have, and then a new science emerges. And why was he a hesitant sociologist? Because he hated all his colleagues who could not refrain from exhibiting their values while presenting scholarly arguments. Value freedom was for him a holy cow, if you like. You have to present your arguments in a value-free manner, and if you don't do that, then you are not a scholar. The sociologists back then did not follow him, and even today they do not follow him. Sociology is a discipline which is always normatively strongly engaged, without controlling those norms. And this was for Weber a very, very crucial thing. And when he saw that this does not work out, he left the German Sociological Association, which he himself had helped to found, because he said, no, with this, I don't want to be in the same camp like those people. So yeah, I would say he was a hesitant sociologist. And this is why he then developed his own sociology. This is why he then tried to build up sociology from scratch with economy and society. If you read those first 30 pages, this is the attempt to put forward a solid theoretical foundation of this discipline. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hans-Peter. And now, Patrick, please, your answers.
Yes, what I can say about understanding and interpretation for Simon is that interpretation consists to link an observable expression or symbols and attributing them to a mental process that underlies them. It is a psychological interpretation in the sense that we consider them to be psychological motivated. Dass sie sich motiviert sind, hat gesagt. And we thus return to the necessity of a a priori psychology. And this a priori allows us to describe and to interpret the activity of other, but it is a presupposition, and it is hypothetical, but the life had confirmed that these hypotheses are in some case always valid. And the other is not a puppet, he says in the first chapter of sociology. And the other is not a puppet, and then what we observe is only a bridge and a symbol. We cannot be sure that this is valid. There is the secret of the other. The secret of the other who we don't we cannot grip This was the first question, if I have it good understand. For the second, I could say I will name, I will take sentence of the email, but I transform and I say not the philosopher but the sociologist. The philosopher says what nobody, philosopher says what nobody knows. Sometimes he knows what nobody says. Le philosophe dit ce que tout le monde sait. Parfois, il sait ce que tout le monde dit. And I think it's the same for the sociologist. And it is the difference between the ordinary man and the sociologist. But the modes of reasoning of the two are in gros the same. Thank you for the two questions.
Okay, I would like to thank very much to Hans-Peter, Patrick and Alvaro, and apologize for the delay we have due to technical questions. So now, bueno, sigo en castellano, vamos a tener ahora un tiempo para el almuerzo, que en realidad a las 14:30 deberíamos estar de vuelta, pero bueno, un poco nos hemos atrasado, como que atrasemos a 14:45, o sea que saquemos un poco de tiempo de almuerzo y un poco, digamos, para no atrasarnos después. Hemos arreglado con un lugar que está acá cerca, quizá la Patricia dirá dónde, donde bueno, nos esperan, que tienen así distintas opciones para comer y que saben que vamos y tenemos lugar. Así que nada, los que quieran venir con nosotros pueden venir. No sé si vale la pena ese lugar o vamos todos juntos igual, ¿no? Sí, bueno, pero
San José y Chile.
En la esquina. San José y Chile en la esquina. Nada, para todos y todas que quieran venir con nosotros a comer ahí nos esperan. Bueno, sí. Thank you very much again, and hope to see you soon in a new conference, okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.